Nice. It's just such an overused, unoriginal adjective. I mean, you'd never say this is nice. This is spectacular. It's breathtaking. I mean, I know nice is meant to be a compliment, but it isn't. I mean, the last thing you want to be called is nice. It's not that you've done anything wrong. It's just that, well, you were forgettable. You had no defining personality traits, no character, no original quirks. The Audi Q3, first generation, that was a nice car. This new Q3 is anything but nice. Even in this nice Cosmo blue color, the Q3 now has personality and character. There are 10 other way more dramatic colors to choose from, but even in this, it works. Mark Lichter, who is head of the creative design team, has certainly ensured that all the new Audis are clearly part of the four-ring family, but they do have their own unique character and personality. These Quattro blisters have now actually replaced the family face as the new defining design feature on all Audis, and I love it because it really does give it a purposeful, muscular stance. But you know what I also enjoy is this shoulder line that actually joins the rear tail light with the front headlight and really does add to that presence, because usually in profile it's a pretty flat and dull and boring surface. Not anymore. Now, Audi have really simplified the offering with this Q3. There is only one engine to choose from, and that is a 1.4-litre petrol TFSI, which produces 110 kilowatts, 250 newton meters, which in the Q3 application is more than enough, and it's linked to their 6-speed S-Tronic. Nothing new here, tried and tested, and it works really well. From a suspension perspective, pretty standard setup up front, McPherson's, but at the back they've got a multi-link rear axle, which I like the fact that it is standard across the entire range. What we do have as an optional extra though is the Audi Drive Select. This is something you all know how it works. What is interesting though is that they have gone and added, if you do opt for this, there's an off-road mode that is now included, and I suppose that's so that this Q3, which is front-wheel driven, can really qualify, I suppose, as a proper SUV after all. The Q3 is now built on the company's MQB platform, and actually with that longer wheelbase, there really is a marked improvement in the ride quality. But I want to stress this. Our test unit is on the optional 19-inch wheels. These are the biggest you can get on the Q3. In standard, it comes out on 17 inches. Don't sacrifice ride quality and interior comfort and quietness purely for looks, because it actually is going to ride better on the 17s or 18s than on these big 19 inches. So the new Q3, it's also grown pretty much all over. It's 96 millimeters longer. The width, well, it's 18 millimeters wider. But very importantly, the wheelbase has actually grown by 77 millimeters. From a height perspective, 5 millimeters lower. A little bit broader, wider, more aggressive. To be fair, the first generation Q3 found itself in a bit of no man's land because it didn't offer much in terms of space and practicality. But now with these new dimensions, the headroom, the legroom, and obviously the elbow room is much improved and certainly appreciated. But they've also upped the ante when it comes to the practicality side of things. I love the fact that this bench seat is now on a slider. So I can actually slide up to 150 millimeters further forward or push it all the way back. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to realize this. Obviously, when you have passengers, improves their comfort, but if you want to load more stuff in the boot, slide the seats forward, and you've got way more boot space as well, which is really, really cool. So with the seats pushed all the way back on the slider, the boot space is 530 litres, which is plenty adequate, but if you do this and slide it all the way forward, 675 litres, pretty impressive. Obviously the seats can flip forward, and then you've got 1,500 odd litres to play with, plenty of practicality there. So happy days, practicality and space has certainly been much improved in the new Q3. But the problem is this, the new consumer is looking for connectivity and convenience. And I can't believe they've brought this Q3 out without offering the 2 USBs in the back. So if you're wanting the latest technology, it's not happening here. You've got to move to the front, and there's a lot of tech up there. Standard now is a 10.25-inch digital instrument cluster, which is controlled via the multifunction steering wheel, but can of course be spec'd up to Audi's virtual cockpit, which then incorporates additional functionality from the infotainment system onto the dash layout. What you see here is included as part of their 33,500 Rand technology package, and it also includes the 30 color ambient lighting as well as the aluminium accents. Audi does not yet offer the full Connect services like their main competitors do, but can I tell you what, I actually like it just fine. From a style and layout perspective, the dash is full of hard lines and really interesting edges. The lower level mimics the single frame grille, both in terms of shape and the chrome detailing, and it's finished off in a high gloss black trim. Nice isn't really how I would describe waking up to this view every morning. And much like the Q3, there certainly are more emotive adjectives to describe it. I look at it, I think confident, sporty, dynamic, characterful, very good. Where Audi does fall behind, and this is by their own admission, they are behind the curve when it comes to the connected drive experience when you look at what BMW and Merc offer. So possibly for the more tech-savvy consumer out there, that could be a hindrance. The Q3 is actually really well priced, and what Audi have done is streamline their offering. So it comes either in standard trim, the advanced, or the S-line trim. And what they've also done is all of those optional extras, they've actually bundled them into packages. So you can easily expect to add at least 60,000 Rand onto your base price. In a world where you can be so many things, strive to be so much more than nice.